Oh, hi. Finally we're getting back into the Warriors All-Stars grind. The last 2 weeks have been almost exclusively Castlevania, and that's because the last time I played this on stream I was very burnt out because I'd been playing it almost every single day for like 2 months. Not all on stream, but I played it a lot off stream as well. But the last two breaks I took a bit of the last 2 weeks, I took a bit of a break, and now we're finally getting back to it. The next character that we had left to grind was Ryu Hayabusa. However, I need to actually get to into the true ending route before I really get back to regard grinding, because then I'll have every character. So instead, what I need to do this time is get to this stage, which shouldn't take too long, hopefully. But once I reach this, then just a couple extra stages, then I'll be able to actually start grinding. And then we'll be back to doing just completely random battles over and over. But yeah, it is going to be a bit fun. I was burnt out on it before, but I think at this point, it's been enough of a break that I can get back to it without too much of an issue. Yeah, first stage of the day is Clockwork Princess. We're gonna be unlocking Millennia, which I don't know if it's actually necessary to do these in order to get to the necessary to do all of these. I mean, all of the hero battles in order to unlock Yomi's route. I don't think it is, but I still like doing it just in case. It's a bit of extra grinding time anyways. But yeah, since we still have a little bit until we reach the perfect grinding portion of the game, Ryu's already has maxed out regard with most of the characters that are available right now. So instead, I'm just going to be chipping away a tiny bit at Darius until we reach the true ending route. Then I'll switch to Ryu and we'll get the real grinding started. So I don't plan to completely stop playing Castlevania games, by the way. Going back to this one for a while, but I think what my plan is I generally try to stream at least 3 times a week. So most likely for the next few coming weeks, at least probably 2 streams per week will be Warriors All-Stars, and then 1 will be something else, but probably Castlevania. That way I'm not exclusively streaming this game, to prevent myself from getting burnt out, at least a little bit. Especially because I will still be playing this game a tiny bit off stream. Probably not a ton, since I don't have infinite free time, but I do have enough to occasionally do this off stream. So not all of the grinding will be done on stream anymore. Well, it wasn't entirely before anyways, but it especially won't be now. Just to prevent myself from getting exhausted of the game as a whole. Yay, more of the game that you hate. I love regard grinding. I don't despise it, and after a bit of a break from it for the last 2 weeks, I am a bit more okay with playing more of it, but yeah, we're finally getting back to this. As soon as I finish this though, I still don't know. Well, the next Musou game will be Utawara Ramono-zan, but that releases in like mid-December, and to my knowledge, from all of the research I've already done on that one, it seems like that will be like a maybe week, possibly 2 weeks to fully complete. That game does not seem very a very long process. So after that, I'm still not sure which musou we'll do after Zon, but I guess we still have a bit over a month to figure that out. But for now, we're back to grinding this. Taking that break absolutely did help though. Already like 5 minutes into playing and I can already tell I'm gonna be less quickly exhausted this time around. William is maxed, nice. The only problem though is where it has been a little bit since I last played. I am going to have to kind of get back into the swing of things. I won't be playing it quite max efficiency for a while. Also, something I learned a couple weeks ago off stream, shortly after my last stream of this, because I did play it a tiny bit the day after that stream, but something I learned is that probably shouldn't be doing more New Game Plus resets at this point, and the reason why is because, so the game tracks, like, the game does track what Hot Spring and Friendship events you get, and that's tracked across New Game Plus runs. That's across all of your save files, just in the main menu gallery, that is tracked. However, every New Game Plus run, it doesn't reset that tracker, but it does reset the list of ones you've already gotten in that run. And what I mean by that, sorry, I was getting a call for a second. It was just a spam call. But what I do mean by that is that if you already got a friendship event, you can't get it again in that New Game Plus run. But if you reset the run and do another New Game Plus cycle, you can get it again. Which means it's much more easy to get repeats of friendship events that you've already gotten before if you frequently do New Game Plus cycles. It's generally more effective in other ways, but I think that alone makes it kind of not as worth it as I had originally thought. But that was something I didn't learn about until a few weeks ago, when I finally noticed that, oh, I'm getting repeats and you're not supposed to be able to get repeats on the friendship events. If you're just going for max regard and not the friendship events themselves, which I don't know why you would do that, there's not much of a reason for going for max regard without also going for friendship events. But let's say hypothetically, if someone decided to do that, the New Game Plus resets would be more efficient, because you get the resets of the side quests, and every completion of those do increase your regard a tiny bit with the associated character. It's not a ton, but it is enough to kind of push some characters up to max in certain cases. But for my situation, since I'm also going for friendship and hot spring events, it's better for me to instead stay in the same New Game Plus cycle. That way I don't accidentally get repeat friendship events. Did I accidentally choose a random battle instead of the story mission? I may have accidentally done that by habit, but yeah, I meant to choose flowers on the battlefield, but I may have accidentally chosen the wrong one. Either way, it's still some good grinding time for Darius, so it's not a huge deal. I have kind of missed playing this game. As much as I don't love this game itself, I love the musou genre enough that going a full 2 weeks without at least playing them a tiny bit did make me miss them a tiny bit, you know. This game may suck, but it's still of a genre that I love, despite that. Something I absolutely did not miss though was these giant maps that have very little extra movement options. Very slow to get through these. And there are so many maps that are like this. It's at least half of the roster of maps have massive fields that just take forever to go through. I love when enemies get knocked down, and because of that, they completely avoid special attack. It's a common enough occurrence that it is genuinely kind of annoying. And in most other musos, similar things do happen. Enemies do get invincibility frames sometimes, but it's always infrequent enough that it's not too much of an actual issue. Just a minor annoyance whenever it does happen. In this game though, it's common enough that it's an actual problem. Can't wait until I unlock the rest of the characters, just because then I will be able to truly get back to max efficiency grinding. Because I need Honoka at least to do that, since she has the chance of instant resets on hero skills. Oops, went the wrong way. Now, it's been a bit since I've done any of these missions. While I do still remember the general route to all of these, it's hard not to, considering how many times I've done them. But it may take a bit to fully remember the exact route for every single stage again. That is the one problem with taking a break. It's generally a good thing, but it does mean that I have kind of forgotten some of the routing for certain stages. Three, 4, 5. Now I should be able to just go toward the bottom of the map, and that should be where, yeah, okay, I was right. That is where the boss spawns. And if I remember correctly, the only direct route to the Setsuna is to the right. You may be able to unlock the door on the left side if you capture the base or defeat some of the enemy captains, but it's always just faster to go this route since it's already open. Oh, fuck. Luckily, the only hero skill that was already up was Okuna, so that wasn't as big of a setback as it could have been, but it's still never great to to get hit by one of those that disable your hero skills and rush attacks. Or musou rushes and special attacks, I mean. What version of Hyrule Warriors is this? The bad version. Yeah, this is the Hyrule Warriors update that came out in 2017 before Definitive Edition. It was on PC. They changed a lot of the characters around. I don't know why, but they gave them like different outfits and stuff. And they made it bad. Kind of crazy. Yeah, this is Hyrule Warriors Evil Edition, as it's called. The official title. I like how on my captions the phrase Hyrule Warriors Evil Edition was all capitalized. They knew it was real. They not only knew that Hyrule Warriors was real, but also Hyrule Warriors Evil Edition. It's an official version. I should have enough characters built up now that Ryu should be able to have at least one full set of non-max characters. Hopefully. Okay, never mind. The only one here that's not already fully maxed is Yukimura, and he's already rank 4, so guess I'll play a bit of Yuanji, I guess. He should. Yeah, she still has a couple of characters not maxed. This game is the Wario of Hyrule Warriors. It's true. It is. They took the H at the beginning of Hyrule Warriors and they turned it upside down. That's what the logo for this game is. It's an upside down H. I wasn't paying attention, so I was still doing my normal rotation for Darius when I'm not playing as him now. Because Wang Yuanji has a very different rotation that's optimal compared to pretty much any other character, just because of the fact that her basic attacks are by far the best part of her kit. So while you do still want to finish off chains with strong attacks, it's less about doing the ones with the highest range or highest damage and more about doing the fastest ones. That way you're still getting off damage, but also quickly getting back to your light attacks. See how quickly her light attacks just instantly wiped that opponent? They're way too broken. She is probably, I would say her and Ryu Hayabusa are kind of tied for being the best characters in the roster. But she's probably the most efficient and easiest to play. The only problem though is she's also pretty boring to play and also doesn't have any extra movement techniques. If she had more movement tech, I would consider her definitely the best character, but I think in this particular game, lacking that is a pretty big downside. And I think that does mean that Ryu edges her out just slightly in my mind. He doesn't have a ton of movement tech, but the movement tech he does have in very specific cases is extremely useful. Namely his swallow dive, I think it's called. His aerial light attack, basically. It's very good for transitioning back into a light attack chain after an aerial strong attack, but what's more important for it is something that is most likely not even an intentionally like designed thing, but probably just a glitch. If you use it off of any ledge, you will fucking go flying across the map. And that is definitely not intentional, but it does make him even better than he already is. So I think that's the main reason why I would say he, in my mind, just slightly edges out Wang Yuanji as the best character in the roster. But it's absolutely debatable who's the actually better one. I just value movement tech so highly in this game. She's the true Dynasty Warrior. I don't think it'll ever not be funny to me how every character in this game has at least one line that plays when you get to 1000 KOs that's just like, I am the true Dynasty Warrior, or I am the true Samurai Warrior, or I am the true Gay Warrior. Darius says that one. Like they all have at least one line where they just say, I am the blank warrior. Like, they said the title of the game, they said the title of the genre. I'm so proud of them. Such good dialogue choices. This will hopefully be the last time I have to do this this mission, and pretty much every other main story mission slash hero mission. This will hopefully be the last time I have to do any of them for a very, very long time, since I won't be doing more New Game Plus resets for quite a long time, likely not until the very end, once I've already maxed out all regard but still have some... Actually no, because even then, that wouldn't help very much. This may actually be my last New Game Plus reset. I may just stay on this save file for as long as realistically possible. And if so, that would mean that I would not have to do any of these any more times past this one, which will be very nice because the main story quests in this game at times are even more boring than the randomized quests somehow. That's a really low bar. That's not saying much, but they are not the best, especially the ones that you're basically required to do every single run. For example, Mitsunari is one of those. Wang Yuanji is almost one of those. Both of those you have to do in almost every single run. Not quite every one of them, depending on the character you're starting with and whether or not you're going for specific endings, but in 90% of 90% of playthroughs, you will have to do both Mitsunari's and Wangyuanji's. Also, I know for a fact that I am not pronouncing Wangyuanji correctly. I know it is pronounced very differently from that. However, I don't know the actual pronunciation. Despite being a big fan of Romance of the Three Kingdoms and a lot of language-related stuff, I am not that great at pronouncing names. Only the names that I already fully know that make it seem like I am. Classic panda in the hot spring happens to everyone. Who hasn't seen a panda in their local hot springs that they totally have? Okay, now for the true ending. Okay, I do have to clear flowers on the battlefield. Good to know. If I remember correctly, this is a fairly short stage overall, not a super long one. Also, these dialogue-heavy portions of the stage where you're just stopped for a while are pretty much perfect for doing a musou rush, just because of the fact that that you can't really do much else anyways. And while these aren't very useful when it comes to getting KOs, they are useful for one thing, and that is at the end of them, your hero skills get reset. And that is very useful for me. So the best time to use them, in my opinion, is when you can't do anything else anyways because you're waiting for dialogue to appear. Getting captured by arrow rain. My favorite thing. Almost forgot that you spawn over to the right. Probably should have just stayed on the right side of the map and went toward the north. but already went around. Bit of a time waste, but nothing too big. Oh my fucking god. I hate archers, even in this one. Archers combined with the cannons, fucking, like they don't do much damage like the old musos, but they still can be very annoying with ranged stun locks at times. Usually not too much of an issue, but when it is a problem, it's very annoying. Damn, Oda Nobunaga is so fucking hungry. Fucking focused on fish and rats on the battle. The hungry little guy. So I just now noticed that when you attack Oda, or maybe his cat soldiers, one of the two, when you attack them, they make like cat meows. Like, it's not that loud. I never noticed it before now, but they did actually make voice lines for the cats fucking meowing whenever they take damage. Hajime's rank 4 now, very close to rank 5. Okay. Monument on. Doing this mission should bring him past the rank 5 mark, so I am going to swap him out, even though he's technically not max, just because he should be after doing that quest. And that right there is the reason for why I was saying before that New Game Plus resets are more efficient specifically for maxing out Regard. They're less efficient for getting Friendship / Hot Spring events, since those can reset upon New Game Plus cycles, but just for the Regard grinding itself, which is what you'll be doing for most of the completion process, it is more efficient to do New Game Plus resets. I'm just now realizing I don't remember what difficulty I have it set to now. I think I have it set to normal or hard. I think I set it back to that at some point when I was going for the achievement. But Now that I'm back to regard grinding, I should probably put it down to easy difficulty just to make these battles go down slightly faster, even if not by a ton. I don't think the difficulty affects your the amount of regard experience you get. Maybe main experience, but I don't think it increases regard in any way, so I should probably turn it down to easy to make these go by as quickly as possible. It's so odd for that one specific objective, the only case of this in the game where you not only have to take out 1 or 2 gatekeepers, you have to take out like 10, and they spawn 2 at a time from that one little corner. And you can't pass into this area until after you've taken them all out. And the game also gives no extra indication of that. The first time I ever did this stage, I legit thought I was like, the game bugged out and it was soft locked or something, because I defeated them like 4 times and assumed like, okay, why is the gate not opening? But no, it's just for this specific mission. You have to take out like 10. The game gives no extra indication of that fact. And they all spawn from that corner 2 at a time, making it seem like it's just broken. But no, that's intentional. It's a very odd design choice that is not conveyed at all. It's so funny occasionally hearing the like couple of English words that kind of pop through in the voice acting, either in the case of like William, who just entirely speaks in English, or the just occasional English words that don't have like direct Japanese equivalent, so they just say the English word itself. It's always kind of funny hearing those pop through the dialogue, because this game has a ton of those. It's not too uncommon for that to happen a little bit in a lot of games with Japanese voice acting, but I feel like with this game, it's so common. Like half of the lines of dialogue end up having at least one English word in them. And I feel like a big part of that feeling may just come from the fact that William speaks entirely in English, so it feels like there's more than there actually is, just because he speaks so often, but it's still very, very funny how common of an occurrence it is in this one. You know, I just realized I really shouldn't even be grinding Opuna. Because as I've said in the past, the last 4 characters, the 3 original characters in Opuna, I'm not really worried about because they don't have friendship or hot spring events. I'm only really going for every other character. Just realized I accidentally had the mic muted. Yeah, the next battle is a Mask of Indifference. The only available story battle, and this should lead into I don't know if this leads into Monument of the Dawn. This should lead into one of the 2 required stages we have left to unlock Ryomi's route. Why do the arrows spawn the second you capture a base? Like that, at face value, that's such a minor, like, complaint. But in practice, especially when you're doing this type of stuff, where you're just kind of going through every stage as quickly as possible in order to grind regard, it's such a fucking pain in the ass. I would like it if you could stop juggling me, Zhao Yun, and let me actually touch the ground for 2 seconds. Be very nice. Thank you. Okay, I misremembered what the next objective was. I'd assumed this was the map where some enemies spawn at the right side, right to the north, but no, she immediately spawns to the bottom left. Womp womp. One step closer toward the true route, and we'll be able to once again grind Ryu Hayabusa. Okay. Demon Ilayya's Plan and Monument of the Dawn are both available right now, so we are now properly on the road toward getting to the true ending routes. See, the funny thing is, the whole point of this mission is to stealth your way around these. However, you don't actually have to do that at all. You can just walk in front of them, be detected, and it changes absolutely nothing about the mission. I think it does make Toketsugu slightly stronger, like he becomes in high spirits, so he is less weak than he would otherwise be. The thing is though, combat in this game is so incredibly simple and easy that Toketsugu being slightly stronger is not even very much. It's not strong enough where it's ever actually noticeable. his increased power level. So like as you can see, his health is still going down pretty quickly. So it's not really, it doesn't really matter too much whether you are the guards or not. The rest of the stage still plays out exactly the same as it otherwise would. And even the whole portion of this objective is also to capture the space without Uibu finding you. However, one, Uibu is pretty much always inside of the base itself. Maybe if you wait long enough he does leave, but it's just not worth waiting. And again, Uibu isn't actually that strong in this game. He's not stronger than any other character. Like he's equal strength to them all. So him spotting you isn't actually a big problem. In like mainline Dynasty Warriors games, an objective where the whole idea is to not be spotted by Uibu and to work your way around him actually would be an intimidating objective. Like that would actually be like, okay, there's a reason to avoid this. You don't want to just go directly through it because then you would have to fight Uibu. And in mainline Dynasty Warriors games, Uibu is notoriously the hardest character to fight. He is ridiculously strong. That is not the case in Warriors All-Stars. Not at all. Every character is about equal challenge, and that challenge level at its baseline is extremely low, so it's never really a problem. In mainline Dynasty Warriors it would be, but these types of objectives aren't really super common in those games. They're occasionally a thing, but it's not especially frequent. But in this game, they're a lot more common, yet they have a lot less value. Like, it's such a strange situation to have. A game with, at face value, more interesting objectives, but with everything else around those objectives being so poorly designed that they become significantly worse than any of the much more simple objectives in other games. Like, this game technically, at face value, has neat ideas for some stage objectives, at least for the main story quest. The problem though is, the game is so easy, and you can completely ignore most of those objectives half the time and just run straight toward the boss, that there's not really any reason to do any of them. And even when you do them, it doesn't feel any more fun than it would have been by just running to the end, because this game is so easy, it's too simple. They don't do enough with any of those ideas they have. They'll have like, oh, here's the objective, avoid this character and kind of stealth your way through the stage, but if you don't stealth your way through, you can still win with ease, and even if you do stealth your way through, well, you saved like... Actually no, I was gonna say you save a few seconds of time, but half the time it takes longer, and it's not even much easier because you often still have to go back and fight that character anyways. I don't know, this game's just kind of a mess in its mission design. Very unfortunate. Okay, most of these hero battles I am going to be ignoring since I'll just get them anyways on Yomi's route. The one that I am going to go after is Honoka, because she will make grinding this so much faster. So much so that I completely forgot to even stop by the hot springs, because I just saw her and was immediately like, okay, I need to go get her. He is that good for regard grinding. He's so good at punching people to death. He's just like me, for real, for real. Almost done with the stage, then we'll only have one more battle before we're on to Yomi's route. And once we're on hers, we will have a short bit of time where we are a bit restricted with our characters, but by the end we will have every character back again. Then we can truly start the regard grind. And that'll be nice to finally get back into the groove of things fully. Now we finally have Honoka back. We'll make this way faster in the long run. Horo's almost maxed as well, so I may go ahead and swap her out of the team and instead accept a request for her, because that may bring her up to max instead. That way we don't have to bring her along to a full other battle. Plus I do need to swap someone out for Honoka again. Okay, I guess right now it's probably not the best time to accept her request, but I can always do that anytime later down the road, so guess I will do that later. For now, Horo will have to stay stuck at rank 4 though. Now, time for Monument of the Dawn. Despite being a main story quest, this is one of the simplest and shortest stages in the game. All you need to really do is take out Murray Rose there, then escort Shiki to the top left, which both of those objectives are very short. If you go the optimal route and go ahead of Shiki to clear out each base before he arrives, you can get this all done within like 3 minutes. If you go at max speed, this is a very, very short mission. And I believe he also tries stopping over at that base to the right down there. I probably should have cleared that out as well. Yeah, he does stop there, but this does give me a bit of time to clear out the higher bases first, so I can just go ahead and do that. At least this one right here. I'm not gonna go for the top base before he reaches it, since that would be a huge time loss, but at least for this one right here, I think I can take it out and still make pretty good time overall. Once again, she's the true Dynasty Warrior. Can't believe she's advertising her own video game in this other video game. So fucked up. What has Dynasty Warriors come to? Yeah, Shiki loves getting caught up at this specific spot in the map. Really, I should have taken out both of these bases beforehand. But yeah, you generally want him to go up to the top area. In fact, I don't think I've ever actually had him stop at that base to the left, but I guess he can sometimes. It may also be because I went over there. That may also be why he stopped there. Probably shouldn't have done that, but do I know? I wonder, I've never had him go to the left area, I've always had him go through the center area. But I wonder, if I lead him through here, would he actually walk up here, or would he just kind of go back toward the center after capturing that base down there? So I'm not actually sure, I've never tested that myself, but I do kind of want to try that. Just to change things up and see if that is actually a route that he can go down. Accidentally used Tanoka first. I really do need to get back into the routine of making sure to always use her last. Okay, no, he does just always go down the right side. Unfortunately, I was hoping that maybe this time he would take a slightly different route. I mean, it is faster to go this way, so it's not actually a problem, but it would have been interesting to see at least. Oh god, I forgot he also stops at this one to the right. Fuck off, asshole, go toward your base. I'm about to go over here in a second anyways to fight the actual boss of the stage. You don't need to capture this. Okay, finally. Yeah, trust me when I say that that stage is normally extremely short. If you actually go the optimal route, it's like a 2-minute stage. One of the shortest main story quests in the game. But obviously I did not go about it the most efficient way, so that wasn't the case that time around. Ended up being a very slow route. And now I'm on to Yomi's route. Okay, and now we have every character. Even the characters that were just available to do their stages for, they still just get put into our party. So I think the implication is that you didn't capture them, nobody else recruited them, they just kind of showed up. They found you on their own if you didn't do their individual stages, which is really funny at least. But yeah, now we can swap into doing the real grind that we were here for from the start. And I am gonna put Honoka right here just so that she'll be on the left side of the wheel. And hopefully, before the end of the stream, we can hopefully max out the rest of Ryu Hayabusa's his regard, because we are relatively close. If I remember correctly, let me double check how close he is on all of them. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He has 13 maxed. So he has nearly half of the entire roster maxed out already, and a decent amount also at high ranks. So we should hopefully be able to max all of his regard out this stream. If not, then next stream definitely. Or I may do it off stream. If we don't max him out this stream, I may do a bit more grinding off stream. But hopefully we do max him out in this next couple of hours. Yeah, now the true grinding begins. First Honoka reset of the session. Very nice. See, I could have done Ryu's epic fucking drop where he just glitches out the entire game. I could have done that. That would have been cool as hell. But because I have Zhou King right now, it's actually slightly faster to just walk. At least while his hero skill is active. Right now it's not active, so it would have been faster, but for that individual moment, it was a bit faster to just let Zhou King's skill do its work instead. Anytime I run into walls like I was doing just then, just know that it's likely because I am probably drinking water. This is a very easy game to just drink water while running around the map. It takes so long to navigate from destination to destination that it's super useful to just kind of hydrate or do other things while walking. Before I started streaming, when I started playing this game a few weeks before then, I mostly played this game while multitasking with other stuff. That's how I play a lot of games, but this one I especially did it with, because there's so much like borderline downtime from just walking from objective to objective, that it was perfect for just doing other stuff while holding down the control stick. Because a lot of these maps are also pretty straightforward. There's usually at least one spot where you can just hold down the control stick directly up, and you'll reach the destination in like a minute and a half. Like for example, that kind of center left area right there, if I had been standing right there and angled myself like in this direction, I could just hold the control stick directly up and I would get stopped at this wall eventually, but that would still be a good 30 seconds of just going straight forward with no needing to move left or right at all. And so that makes this game really good for just kind of multitasking while moving through each area. It requires very, very little attention. And depending on your setup, you don't even have to hold the control stick yourself. I would occasionally just set a rubber band to the joystick to just hold it directly up for small periods of time. I didn't do that specific method too often, but the fact that it's possible at all and is a somewhat viable method of just having the game play itself in very specific portions while you do other things is a pretty big tell as to how little actual involvement, little actual player involvement is required to play a lot of this game. And that's mostly just down to how big the maps are and how poor movement is. Fox is very close, almost maxed. Very good. Oh yeah, very good. Hopefully at least one person understands that reference. At least one person will understand the oh yeah, very good. Oh yeah, very good. Gotta say it with that inflection if I'm gonna reference that one. Yeah, back to the rush battles though. These are especially great for grinding because they're a set period of time, how long they last, and there are so many enemy units throughout the area that you can very quickly get your special attack back up, and using your special attack, get your hero skills back up. And once those are full, you can just spam those. So it's one of the best stage types for regard grinding specifically. It's also just a fun stage type in general. I will never deny that just mowing down thousands of enemies is one of the more fun parts of the musou genre. I may personally prefer the strategy aspects in a lot of the older games, but it is absolutely still very fun to just hit hundreds of enemies with a big stick. And there was Ryu saying his "I am the true blank warrior" line. Every character has one. You know what? In his case, he probably is the strongest warrior. Ah. These stages definitely do get really chaotic, which is fun. I like it. But it is really just a full several minute stage of spamming hero skills plus special attacks, and then once both of those have run out, just attacking normal enemies until one of them fills up yet again. Rinse and repeat for about 5 minutes total. Don't wanna get caught into Zhao Yun's special attack. Especially not in this stage type. It's generally better to just go ahead and use a special attack as soon as your opponent does. That way you're both locked into it, and if you use yours slightly after theirs, there is a chance that they will end up getting caught into your special attack and you completely missing theirs. It really depends on how long your special attack is compared to theirs, but it is still a very, very easy way to get around the special attack stun locks. And of course she used her special attack, so she has her skill, her shield out now. But it doesn't really matter anyways. I guess certain hero skills or special attacks can nullify that shield, I guess. Sometimes it just doesn't stay, so I'm not sure what exactly the cause of it is. Despite having it happen quite often, I've never quite narrowed down what exactly the cause is that makes her shield just go down instantly. It may just be a bug. It may genuinely be just an unintentional effect of certain skills, or maybe her using it. Sometimes it'll just not fully apply. Who knows? This game's buggy enough in general that I really wouldn't be too surprised, no matter what the cause of it is. One last string of hero skills right before the end. And perfect timing for that chain to end. I don't know how much that will increase my regard with every character, but at the very least going to max out Pakta. Oh, and it brought Zhou King up by 2 ranks and Sophie up by a 1.5, so pretty good. As you can see, the rush battles definitely are the most effective for increasing regard. Always have been, always will, assuming that you actually do them as they're intended. But that's not very hard to do. I am actually really quickly, after going into the hot spring, I am going to quickly swap back to Wang Yuanji, because I assume Hajime's quest has been completed, and I want to get him maxed out with her. And I think he's already maxed out with Ryu, so it would just be a waste if I turned in the quest while having him. Now, where is she? There you are. Oh shit, Hajime isn't actually completed. Okay, no, I misread that. I thought it was 10,000, not 100,000. Despite that, I still think INA is maxed out with Ryu, so it's still better to accept it as 1G. And I think Darius may be maxed out as well. I'm gonna double check really quickly. Going back to Ryu, where is he? I am blind, clearly. Okay, is Darius maxed out with him? He is, okay. So yeah. You know what, fuck it. I know he's not maxed out with Millennia, because I never play her yet, so... she should be able to get some extra regard from him. Beat more than 500 enemies in a musou rush. Yeah, Rio's is one of the easiest of these requests to clear. Even her third request is just, if I remember correctly, is just to take down 1,500 while in musou rush. Or maybe it's... No, never mind. I was about to say, I think it's also... may actually be killing a certain number of units while you have all 4 characters cheering you on, but I think that's Oda Nobunaga's request, I believe. The fact that I even remember this in the slightest is very clear evidence that I've played this game way too much at this point, more than any person ever should. Okay. I don't think there are any more rush battles on the map right now. Nope, so... just gonna do some other random battles now. And you're out. 1 down, 2 more to go. That's the swallow drop. Swallow drop, I think it is. Swallow dive, something like that. Yeah, that, if you use that on any kind of ledge or staircase, going downward, you will just rocket off into whatever direction you're going, which there's no way that that's intentional. It's so jank looking, there's no chance it was intentional, but it's also such an easy thing to do that, like, there's no way the developers didn't find it during development. They probably just didn't have the time to fix it. I would imagine this game likely didn't have the best development cycle considering the weird mess that the final state of it's in. See, it works for any staircase or ledge. Just instantly drop into the distance. If I remember correctly, running into the side of this does hurt you. Yeah, it does. Running to the side it does not, but running into like one of the front portions of it does damage you quite a lot. Or well, not quite a lot, but it does stun lock you a tiny bit, so honestly even worse than if it actually did significant damage. As usual, I'm really bad about not using the special attacks when I have them. Even though it is a massive help when it comes to instantly recharging your hero skills. I need to get better about that. I'm pretty consistent about it during rush battles specifically, but that's because pretty much all I have to focus on is that basic rotation. But in other battles with different objectives, I'm very bad at remembering to do so. Oh wait, you spawn up there. Did not realize you spawned in the right area, I mean. Almost mixed up my directions. But like I said, been a couple weeks break, forgotten where all of the typical enemy spawns are. Even though this is a randomized battle, the areas they spawn at are still pretty consistent. And just stretch really quickly. Making good progress so far. We've only been at the true Ryu grinding for like what, 15 minutes, maybe 20. We've already gotten one more to max and a few others quite close, so I think we should be able to max him out today. If not, then we should at least get close enough that I can just do a little bit of extra grinding tonight on my own time. And then he'll be maxed out. Then next stream we will start the next character, which I believe the next character is... I want to say Rio? I think she's the next in the lineup, but I could very well be wrong about that. Either way, it's someone. It's someone and that's all that matters. Oh, great, this map. One of the worst maps. But luckily, I did get one of the better objectives, so shouldn't be too big of a deal. I always love doing that, clearing out a base, but until there's only... Clearing out a base until the base commander spawns and then immediately transitioning into an Izuna drop, because it not only clears out the base commander instantly because it does so much damage to single targets, but it also just clears out every single other enemy in the area, and it's just very fun to use. It's such a fun attack to watch everything around him just crumble. Very high damage, very high AoE, and it's got a fun animation to boot. Really is not even the jack of all trades, the king of all trades. Special normal attack for for Ryu Hayabusa. It's my favorite strong attack of his, which makes sense. It is the Izuna drop, it's his iconic move. They really did translate it quite well into this genre. One of the best individual attacks in the entire roster. At least in my opinion. Probably shouldn't have used that actually. every other hero skill was so close to being filled up. I honestly probably should have waited like an extra 10 seconds, used their skills, then used Honoka, but I guess it worked out well anyway since she did get ultimate scissors on all of them, so you got 2 rotations of that, so it kind of made up for it. Worst timing possible to use my hero skills, I mean my special attack, since my hero skills already got recharged from that orb, but I do need to always establish more muscle memory for that, so I'm getting pretty good luck with the ultimate scissor drops this time. And very good luck with Honoka's special skills. Gonna wait a couple of seconds just so I can use that one. And now these are back. Yeah, usually if there's like 2 hero skills that are up for use, as soon as the orb spawns, I usually only go for one of them. That way I don't risk the chance of the orb despawning and the time it takes. Because those do despawn really quickly, but there is usually time to at least use one hero skill before picking it up to reset all of them. Did an orb spawn? It doesn't look like it did. Oh wow. Forward. No reset that time, unfortunately. I really don't even need to take out the golden or silver captain since I have no use for materials or gold at this point, but I do still kind of just take them out of habit. They're such big enemies. I can't just they're literally golden. You expect me to just ignore them? They look so fun to kill. I was having my muscle memory so down for walking through most of the stages, and especially the sanctuary, that the entire time that I was walking from the quest room to the hot spring, I wasn't even looking at the screen. I was just holding the joystick down while looking at my phone. The very, very no attention required type of game, as I've said many times. Really quickly, before, let's see, actually, really quickly, I'm gonna check this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 characters left to max out. Technically 15 if we count the 2 characters that aren't real, but they don't matter. So 13 more, and most of them are actually already rank 4. So this should actually go by very quickly, the rest of this should. Where's everyone else at? Yeah, they're also rank 4, so... Really quickly though, I am going to BRB just to refill my water, because I do need to refill that really quickly. I ran out, so BRB in just a moment. Be back in like probably 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, I am back and properly hydrated. Time to get back into the Ryu Hayabusa grind. Okay, good. Anytime I see one of those pop-ups, I immediately check to see if they're a rush battle. Honeka's really good for her resets on stages in general, but you get natural resets so frequently on rush battles that I feel like she may actually not be as effective as just bringing an entirely separate character along. So I think for this battle I am going to swap her out. But just for rush battles, and even then I'm not even 100% sure if that actually is faster. I just have a feeling it may be, so I want to test it at least once. Yeah, I get resets so often naturally in rush battles, specifically rush battles, that it may actually be more efficient to bring along a fourth character instead of leaving Honeka in. Not 100% certain about that, but it does feel like it may be faster, despite her instant resets. Especially in cases where you end up getting bad luck with her. Again, as I've said several times, I really need to get better into the muscle memory, more set in stone for using my special attacks when they're available. I pretty much always use the hero skills as soon as they're up, but I very frequently forget to do the same with special attacks, even though those are also necessary to use since they help reset hero skills themselves. It really is the type of game where there's so little to talk about that half the time I just resort to humming. Just humming the music that's playing instead. Okay, I know partially gets picked up by the mic, I don't know if like it fully does, so probably better if it doesn't though. I'm still not 100% certain, even in rush battles, whether having Honoka or instead just swapping her out for a 4th character. Still not entirely certain which is faster. I am getting constant reset, but they're not quite instant like Honoka's resets are, so it's like, they're very fast. And maybe if I was playing at max efficiency, using special attacks the second they appear, I may get it more, but I'm gonna have to at some point just to like, do 2 rush battles back to back, one with Honoka, one without, and kind of test how many hero skill uses I get out of each one. And obviously there would be wouldn't be a perfect comparison because of how Honoka's resets are luck based, but it would at least be a decent bar to check, at least to some degree, to see whether I do more. I'd be doing more with Honoka no matter what, but it'd be a matter of whether I'm doing a significant number more with Honoka, or just slightly less without. So I'd say if I do like 25% more with Honoka, then I'd say Honoka is good to bring along even in rush battles. But if I do less than 25% more hero skill uses in a non-Honoka stage, then it may be better to just not bring her along into rush battles. Again, specifically rush battles though, this only applies to those. Hero skill natural resets are long enough in other battles that you absolutely do want to bring Honoka to those, but specifically with rush battles, since those are the most effective regard grinding routes anyways, it may be faster overall to just bring a 4th character instead of her, but I'm not 100% certain. But clearly they did all get quite a lot from that, so with or without her in rush battles, whether it's faster or not, it is still very fast either way. But yeah, now we're going back into the normal battle mines instead of just rush battles. I don't think there are any more on the map currently. Yeah, no, that's a deathmatch battle. This one's a deathmatch. This is a Guardian battle. Which Guardian battles are probably the single worst battles for grinding anything really, because they do not give you a lot of opportunities for using hero skills or even for fighting enemies in general. There are only 5 commanders that spawn in Guardian battles, and 2 individual bases to capture. So they're very bad for grinding in general. Definitely the worst stages for that. They're also not very fun in my opinion. They're very simple. Guess I should probably go north route this time. Really, I probably should have used my musou rush while walking over here. It does take like 20 seconds to walk over here, just enough time for the musou rush to run out, and I would have gotten a reset on the hero skills along the way, so would have probably been a good idea. Not too big of a loss though. It is something I do probably need to get used to doing more. Very bad about just not using musou rush at all instead of figuring out the best times to use it. Really all it's useful for in my case is resetting the hero skills, but it does reset them quite well, so it's like 20 seconds of downtime in exchange for a reset. And while that's not a great exchange, in these stages that are really long and take like 20 seconds or more to walk from one corner of the map to the actual objective, it's a very good opportunity to just use them right there. That way you get a reset as soon as you reach the objective. Although at the same time, the time it takes to walk over there is long enough that the resets may just happen naturally in the time that it takes to fully go through the hero skill, but I don't know. There's a lot of complexity and nuance to how exactly the most efficient method of going about this is. I'm just doing what feels most effective. Whether it actually is or not, no clue. I would love it if rush battles were more common, but unfortunately they are not. Oh wow. Wait until I let these hero skills reset before I took out the commander, just so I had a bit more time before the orb reset appeared, and it didn't appear at all, so it didn't even matter. Oopsies. Perfectly timed reset. I got off one extra Sophie reset, even if I did use it before she appeared. Okay, getting a lot of scissor resets now. Getting very good luck with Honoka this time around. Cannot complain about that in the slightest. And that also means I get a ton of extra Zhou uses. And extra Zhou hero skill uses mean that I am way faster. So it's a lot easier to go ahead and reach the next enemy location. Because this is one of the longer maps to traverse through. Even when going this kind of off to the side route. Still quite slow. Don't want to deal with that one. At least not yet. Nice scissor reset. I will hopefully get a ton of regard experience after this battle. Getting some very good scissor resets. Doing relatively well with my special skill uses. Haven't been getting a ton of orbs from the captured bases, but not too bad when accounting for everything else that I have been getting. Oh yeah, I forgot. I do have to actually capture the base, not just defeat the bandit inside. Oh, hi. Umaogo. I can't tell exactly what he's actually saying. It's just quiet enough compared to the music that it's slightly hard to tell what he's saying. I do have the volume on my end down slightly, but he does say it a lot, so I can still kind of make out what exactly Ryu says whenever he uses that special attack, even if I'm not 100% certain. Where's my orb? Fuck, it's not here. Why have I gotten so few orb resets this stage? Gotten good luck with scissors though. And including just there. And there, yeah. Luckily the scissor resets are making up for the lack of orb resets I've gotten. And they're honestly kind of better, so because I don't have to worry about instantly running to them before they respawn. They just happen no matter what. So that's nice, but I'd like it if I got both though. Clearly that's not gonna happen though. 3, 4, 5. Okay. Enough of a detour, I'm just gonna go straight to the boss. Hopefully this doesn't outright kill the leader, that way I can still use my extra hero skills. Unfortunately, it did. Oh well. Should still get plenty of experience from that one. Enough to bring both Zhou King and Sophie up to max, hell yeah. Very good. Time to get back to rotating the saves. Made enough progress this time that I would rather do that. Getting the default basic already obtained friendship events out of the way, that way I can finally make way for the unique ones hopefully soon. Let's see, actually, who was it that was almost max? Christophoros? If I remember correctly, hers are silver captain, so those would take a while. Yukimura's, his are pretty easy, but I don't know if that would be enough to bring him up to max. So I'm just gonna say fuck it, and instead grab it for... I guess Millennia. I don't think she's maxed out with Ryu yet, so... Although I could very easily double check that. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Okay, she is. Whatever, already accepted it. Not that big of a deal. Also, even though it's early November, or I guess close to mid-November, it is currently snowing outside of my window. Not really relevant to Warriors at all, but it is very nice to look at. Very interesting that it started this early into the year though. Usually where I live, it doesn't start snowing until around December at the earliest, but nope, already starting. Gotta love climate change. It's very, very cool, very fun. At least in this specific case, it looks nice. Okay, I should be able to max out all 3 of these in this one stage, assuming I use my hero skills and special attacks with decent efficiency. I just realized I swapped out Zhou. Like, I need to. That way I can max out other characters, but I always miss not having his speed up. It's so useful. Honestly, probably one of the most practically useful in the game. His speed up is. Zhou is extremely useful due to the incredibly poor base navigation skills of this game. Your normal movement speed isn't super slow, but it's just slow enough that going through the super large maps is very obnoxious. So having that extra speed up increase from Zhou is definitely quite welcome. Okay, I would like it if you could stop using your skills over and over, so I can actually attack you. Be very nice. Okay, thank you. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I probably should rush over to him, but I wanted to take out that one enemy beforehand, just so that they didn't reach the units over here and damage them while I was away. It's usually not too much of a concern, but it can occasionally get your allies killed, so it is still nice to get them out of the way when possible. Also, I just remembered, I said way earlier in the stream, like an hour and a half ago, I should probably lower the difficulty down to easy just so that these go by even faster. The game may be incredibly easy, but the easier it becomes, the faster it is to get through each of these. And I probably should actually do that now. After this stage, I will actually lower the difficulty. I won't forget, I promise. Promise with a capital R. And if I do forget, well, guess that's my problem. I'm dead. I'd like it if I could get one more hero skill reset before the stage ends, but I don't think that's gonna happen. At least not a full reset for everyone. But I can at least get it for Christophorus, so that's nice. Okay, maybe I can get a full reset. If I just stall a little bit and don't kill the bandit right away. Okay, yeah. Got a scissors reset, hell yeah. Very, very good. Oh, and a second one, hell yeah. Oh shit, another one. I do feel like, okay, no. Okay, yeah. Took a bit, but they did eventually take out the boss, so I didn't get to make full use of that last scissor reset, but it was still cool to get so many in a row. About now. Maxes out everyone, let's go. It's always the most satisfying when you make huge progress all in one go. Very nice. Now I do need to swap all of these out for new characters. Not you two though. You're not real. Yeah, Moebu is literally fucking 1 pixel away from being maxed out. You're also very close. And see, do I have anyone else who's at rank 4? Nope, guess not. You're at rank 1, so next battle should get those 2 maxed out, but Nobunyaga will still take quite a bit to get him, since he is starting from rank 1. Nothing fulfilled here. It does show an icon on the actual map to say whether or not you've completed a quest. So I really should just be checking those instead of going to that every time. But I spend so much of this game not even looking at the screen. I don't even look at that most of the time. I go entirely off of muscle memory of selecting the sanctuary, running toward the quest objective area, and doing all of that without even actually looking at the screen, so something I probably should pay more attention to, but I don't. It's not enough of a time loss to really care too much about it. Yeah, using the combo skills like that, they're very neat in concept, but all they do is just combine the effects of both skills. There's not really any reason to use them over just using each of them individually, and that's especially the case for Honoka, because it actually makes her skill even worse. So normally when you use Honoka's skill by itself, if you do get a scissor reset, then it resets everyone's skills, not just the three that aren't her, but it even resets her own skill. But if you use a combo skill with Honoka, such as the one with Oda Nobunaga I used just then, if you use a combo skill with her, it only resets the skills of the two characters who weren't involved in the hero skill. So it doesn't reset hers, and it doesn't reset her partner's. So there's quite literally no reason to ever use a combo skill with Honoka. There is reason for other characters, it does save a slight amount of time, but for her specifically, it's an active detriment to use it. Which makes me kind of think that it resetting hers normally alongside the rest of the team probably wasn't an intentional design decision, but it's also the type of thing where like, it's such a massive help that glitch or not, it is very, very useful to have happen, which means that using combo hero skills with her is generally a pretty bad idea. Which is unfortunate because while they don't really have any extra special animations or anything associated with them, they are cool to use despite that, so it's a bit unfortunate to know that they're pretty much worthless for her specifically. Plus they also save a tiny bit of time on using the hero skills for both characters. Instead you only have to use one instead of two, but the small enough time save it's not really a huge issue even when you don't use it, but would still be nice. But yeah, after this battle we should have 2 more characters maxed out. Then just Nobunaga, and I think there are like 8 other characters that still need maxed. But either way, getting very, very close. No scissor reset that time, but that's unfortunately the one problem with Honoka, is it is all up to random chance. Pretty high chance, it's 1 in 3, but 1 in 3 still means there's still a 2/3 chance for it not to happen. No hero skill reset orb that time. Go didn't get the full animation for his special attack or for the hero skills. I still, after 150 hours in this game, I still have absolutely no clue what determines whether you get the full animation or the non-focused animation for both special attacks and hero skills. Seems to be at complete random. Like, I feel like there's got to be some consistency to it, but it just doesn't feel like there is. Just seems to happen at complete random chance. But I am very happy when it does happen, because those hero skill animations do take quite a long time to go through, so quite a big time save when you do get the shortened one. I love doing that. I think that's my favorite thing to do in this game, is to just fucking dive off of staircases and fucking go across the entire map. It's so dumb, but it's just genuinely useful and it's so fun to look at. The classic case of Warriors All-Stars being very dumb and a bit of a mess in its programming and design choices, but they're at least a mess in fun ways a lot of the time. It's not all bad. Okay, both of those are maxed out. Nobunaga Oda actually made a ton of progress towards him being maxed out. That's nice too. We're getting very close to being done with Ryu already. It will be a bit unfortunate. He is my favorite character to play, so it's a little bit sad to be done with him so soon, but better than spending several hours on him, I guess. Better to be a short character than a long one. This time I do actually have a request to turn in. I'm actually really quickly before starting the stage, I am gonna look at how many are left. So we did get quite a few maxed out in like a very short period of time. So we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 6 more. We only have 6 characters left to max out. And all of them are at least rank 2. Most are even at rank 3. So yeah, we can absolutely finish Ryu this stream. Won't even be a slight problem. Depending on how quickly we get it done, we may even go a bit longer with the next character. Getting a ton of scissor resets right at the start. Very nice. Never a bad thing. Damn, I really am getting fucking tons of these. I was like, what, like 4 or 5 in a row? Wasn't really paying that much attention, but either way, it was quite a ton. The top left, I had 5 fucking attack buffs. I could just one-shot basically everything. I never even noticed that there were icons up there for when you have buffs. I mean, it makes sense that there would be a visual indication of it, but I just never quite looked up there when I had used my hero skills. Usually whenever I'm looking at the top left corner of the screen, it's just to see whether I have my special attack available. Of course, the classic combo of a single enemy using their special attack to stunlock you for a moment, and then another enemy following up by attacking you, stunlocking you even longer. Truly a dastardly combo from the NPCs. One, two, three, four, 5. I really don't need to be taking out that one. As usual, I should probably just be ignoring the gold captains. Not any reason to go after those. Okay, no scissor reset. Time to just take out the boss then. I always like waiting at least a tiny bit at the very end to see if Honoka gets a reset, but when she doesn't, I just go straight for the kill. Made some decent progress with those 3. Very good. Enjoyed a nice relaxing bath alone. Not the best stage to be getting frequent scissor resets at the start. Much better to go directly toward the allies, but you still enjoy getting those, whether it's the best type of stage to get those on right away or not. Would have been fine if I had Jokang, since his speed up would have let me get to these faster anyways, but fortunately I do not. Already maxed him out, so no reason to have him equipped. Okay, now I actually am in the territory of, like, it actually being a concern. It is definitely possible at this point for one of my allies to die before I can reach them, just because I've gotten so many resets within such a short amount of time at the very beginning. I should still be able to reach them though, hopefully. So once again, I forgot to lower the difficulty, yet again. I truly will never learn. I have such a one-track mind whenever I'm playing this game. I just turn my brain off and leave everything to muscle memory, so very easy for me to fuck up those things, and not do extra little things that I say I will. Why am I going? Actually, no. This way we'll still reach it quickly enough, I suppose. Definitely better to go that left route, but this still works. I'm already halfway there. Might as well. Even if it is a little bit slower overall. Three, 4, 5. 1, 2. Okay. No orb over here. Okay, nice. Now we are safe to just spam hero skills as much as we want. My favorite version of the musou gameplay genre. Just spamming the hero skill button. Really is the best game in the series. Finally get off just a few right before the end of the stage. Don't know how much that'll bring up those 3. It's definitely not gonna bring them up to max in one go, but hey, they are all at rank 4 though, so that's all I can ask for. Enjoyed a nice relaxing bath with a friend. Truly the best friend. Any rush battles wanna appear? That would be fantastic if they did. Not there. Oh, that's not one either. I really don't need to fish for a rush battle. I could just do a normal one, but that rush battle would be helpful. Would be good to get those 3 up to rank 5 in one go, hopefully. Okay, nice. Finally. Gonna swap out Hanukkah for one of the other 2. Three, 4. You know, when you think about it, this really is just a counting game. Well, really all video games are just about counting numbers, but Musou's especially, absolutely my favorite math title. Three, four, five. A slight waste since I didn't use Marie's first. No big deal. And also, just realizing I once again forgot. I'm gonna do it eventually. I will lower the difficulty eventually. I will not forget at least once before the stream ends. I have to. It may even already be an easy difficulty. I can't really tell. Seems easy enough that it's pretty hard to even know what difficulty it's on at any time, but I don't think it is. I think it's on normal because I don't think I ever set it back after doing the achievements a while ago, since I did want to do those on a higher difficulty just to make things more interesting, but since I'm back to the regard grinding, I do prefer being on the lowest difficulty. Five. Dude, this is such a good stage for hero skill uses. Most of my units there weren't even very close to being maxed out, but the combination of using my special attack alongside taking out so many enemies all at once just instantly reset all of theirs at once. It was so good. Truly is the most efficient stage type to do this type of grinding on. 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in English, he does say nothing is stronger than Hayabusa style ninjutsu. But if you listen to his dialogue in the actual voice acting, he does say the phrase musou at one point there. So even though it doesn't directly say the word warrior in English, that's definitely what he is basically saying in Japanese. So I still count that one as one of the I am the true dynasty warrior type lines. I would still say it falls under that category, even if in the English subtitles it doesn't directly say the word warrior. Still close enough. Five. Four, 5. I'm just now realizing, Marie Rose, her hero skill says it adds the love effect to your attack. I still don't entirely know what the love element actually does to your attacks. Kinda curious. I doubt there's any resources online that specify what it is, since no one really gives a shit about this game. But maybe one of the in-game tutorials says? Let me check really quickly. I wonder. Does it say anywhere? Does not seem to, no. Maybe it does, somewhere. No, it doesn't seem like it does, which is unfortunate. Almost got an extra reset, but not quite. Time ran out for cheese. Stretch one more time. Ah, wah, 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 wah. Okay, that brought Oda up to max. Oka's also very high, very close. And Marie Rose is pretty high as well. They're all high as fuck now. Okay, now I actually will change the difficulty down to easy. I'm not gonna change it down to beginner at least. I do want at least some thought required to kind of function. Even though, even on easy difficulty, this game is completely mindless, but you know. Don't want to quite put it that low. Easy's low enough for me. Going to rotate the saves once again. I guess I'll just do a normal battle instead of fishing for rush. This time. Just this one, since two of our characters are already so close to being maxed. Two, three, four. Gonna wait a couple of seconds for Marie's to pop again. Okay, now I can grab the orb. The mystical orb of hero skill resets. Okay, nice. Getting several resets now in quick succession. Very good. Actually, I should probably go down and get that one to the right. Actually, nah, I can circle around. I'll get these ones at the top first. Even though that is the one that's more in danger, they're still far enough from the base they're walking toward that still shouldn't be an issue. 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. Dun, dun, dun. Haven't gotten very many hero skill resets this stage. Usually I don't on the defend the base stages, but could hopefully still be enough to raise them up a little bit. Okay, nice, got a skill recharge. And this is a reset, nice, hell yeah. Very, very good. But only one. But one is still better than 0 on those. Still quite nice. And despite not getting very many uses that time, that still was enough to max out both Oka and Tokatsugu. Not quite Marie Rose though, she still has a bit to go. But that now means that we should be able to get the last 2 that aren't maxed on our team. Let's see. Let me triple check really quickly just to make sure. Yeah, so there's those 3 and that's it. Because Setsuna and Tamaki, those don't have friendship or hot spring events, so I'm not counting those. So aside from those 2, we now have all of them equipped. Every character either maxed out or so close to maxing out that we shouldn't have to worry about them too much. I am going to bait for a rush battle though really quickly. I do want one of those, since that would be the fastest for getting that last bit of regard needed to max everything out. Then we will be permanently done with Ryu Hayabusa. Unfortunately. He's such a fun character that it'll be a bit sad to be done with him, but I will still be glad to at least have one more character out of the way. Can't ever complain about that. He's got his little rubber ducky on his head. It's so cute. Okay, please show up. I would like a rush battle to appear. That would be very nice. I would be incredibly happy and grateful to this video game that I hate. Maybe I would even stop hating it if it just gave me a single rush battle. Please, please video game, please. I'm begging you, Warriors All-Stars, give me a rush battle soon. I need it. Fine, fuck you, I won't. Big middle finger towards Warriors All-Stars after that. Instant scissor reset, very nice. You know, actually, after this stream, I'm gonna look up 100% to be sure of what exactly the love status effect does, because I'm starting to think that maybe the reason why sometimes, and only sometimes, defeating normal enemies, just taking them out, does increase my hero skill meter. And I'm starting to think that maybe because of the love status effect. Again, not completely certain. It very well could not be that, but it's happened enough to make me curious, because there's gotta be something that causes it to only happen sometimes. And I have a feeling that may be because of the love status effect. Since it is happening now that I have Marie with me, that could be incorrect. I'll just have to double check for sure. Two, three. Time to rush off of this staircase. Okay, that didn't go nearly as far as I was hoping. Oopsies. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever actually went up here. I didn't realize this building was enterable. I mean, there's nothing up here. There's no reason to ever come up to this area, but I have quite literally never once gone up there in my 150 hours of playtime. Truly do learn something new about how useless a lot of the areas in the map design are every day. Which I do kind of like those extra little touches, areas that aren't specifically for combat but just kind of look nice, but I feel like in most modern musos they are lacking those, but this game is definitely included in that category of lacking those, because that is, I think, the only section of the map that's like that, where it's just a little dead end with a small, nice looking building that doesn't have any bases in it. Bum, bum. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually gonna look up really quickly to see if anyone online has any resources available to see what exactly the love status effect does. Because if it is true that it does actually increase your musou skill regeneration, if that actually is what it does, that is a fucking massive game changer for how quickly this will go. Oh, let's see. Okay, so according to the guide I'm looking at this moment, it just gives like a bewitch status effect, which makes them do more damage. However, there was also someone in that thread who had the exact same idea that I did, thinking it increased spawns more. And based on my experience so far, it does seem like it does that. I'm gonna have to do a bit of testing right now, because this is a big enough thing that if it does actually increase the speed of that, it would be huge. So I do actually want to figure out whether it does actually do that, and I'm thinking it does. And if it does actually increase your hero skill regeneration, then I'm gonna need to equip every single one of my characters with love effect cards, and bring along extra characters that give this effect. Does Ryu have any? Okay, actually, never mind. So, I guess Ryu has it equipped on himself right now. So, I did not realize that he already had the love effect. There's gotta be some reason though, why sometimes, and only sometimes, defeating normal enemies increases the hero skill gauge. It happens sometimes, but not always. So maybe it's an extra effect of Marie Rose's. Maybe it's related to her hero skill and it just doesn't say it. Not impossible? I don't know. It's so confusing. But yeah, guess it's not. I don't need to worry about it too much right now, but it would be very nice to know what exactly causes that. Gonna fish for a rush battle just one more time. Nope, deathmatch battle. Got excited when I saw that exclamation mark, but unfortunately it was not what I was hoping. Rush battle, how, yeah. Very nice. I'm gonna do a bit of experimentation on this stage. I'm not actually going to use hers. Okay. So right now he does still increase it, so it's not from Marie's special skill. But it may be from Kasumi's, maybe? Or no, okay, maybe it is the love effect because Kasumi's also additive. Maybe it's a multiplicative thing? Maybe it only happens on rush battles, but it did seem like it was happening a bit the last stage as well. I don't know. It's really hard to know. This game gives so little explanation for what all of its effects actually do. It's really hard to know for sure. 2, 3, 4, 5. Whatever. I'll experiment with it a bit more later on, but for now I'm just gonna make the assumption that I just don't know what it is, and it's probably not the love status effect, but it could be. There's a non-zero chance, but it's also not very high. I don't know. I'll figure it out eventually, I suppose. Hopefully. I wonder if the times when I click my tongue have been picking up on the mic. I hope not, because I've done it a lot this stream. Okay, it seems like it doesn't, luckily. I feel like that would probably get pretty annoying to hear every like 5 minutes. Just a single click of the tongue into the mic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fine. Getting some alright resets this run. Not quite the best time I've done on a rush battle. Definitely done more efficient runs, even earlier in this stream, but not doing too badly, I guess. I really should be going after more generals to add more to the timer. I've not been doing that a ton this go around. Three, four. Okay, hopefully that should get 2 of them up to max. If not, then oh well, because the third one will likely not be that close, so still have to do a bit of grinding most likely, but... Okay, yeah. 1 of them got to max, and 2 of them are so close that 1 more battle should max them out. After that I will end the stream. We have been going on for 3 hours at this point, but it's been a fun one. I am glad to get back to this game, even if I'm not the biggest fan of it as a whole. Still very, very nice to get back to the grind after 2 weeks away from it. Although I do still plan to play Castlevania games on stream. Probably next stream will be Castlevania again. Most likely Rondo of Blood, but we will still be doing very regular Warriors All-Stars streams yet again. Back to these now that the break is over. Two, three, four, and that's a reset. 5, 6, 7, 8. Another reset. 9, 10, 11, 12, and that's the end of the reset cycle. Still, we got 12 off total, so that's nice. Very, very good. Good progress there. I love just one-shotting all opponents with Ryu's special attack. It does such high damage that it's really good for doing that. Got good single target potential and even is pretty great against crowd clearing. Really his entire kit falls under that category, but his special attack is included within that. It's really just good in all areas. Wouldn't even necessarily call it a jack of all trades, more like a king of all trades. It's good in every area. Maybe not the best in the game, but close enough to being the best. That's absolutely no slouch in any category. And this time I should probably go down this route instead of the upper one. The lower route is probably the better one to take. Getting a nice reset along the path there. Very nice. Yeah, this should hopefully bring us up to max. If it doesn't, we'll at the very least be very close. But I do believe that this will max us out. And then we'll be done with Ryu forever, unfortunately. Well, at least for a very long time. I will have to go back to playing him a tiny bit more later down the line, just to get his Hot Spring and Friendship event after we have everyone's regard maxed out, but at least for now we'll be done with him, which will be a bit sad, but what can you do? Get another reset. Nice. Oh fuck. I missed a single Millennia reset because of that. Her skill lasts so long compared to any other characters. Very long follow through time for her hero skill, which makes her not line up the best with Honoka's scissor resets. Please don't kill instantly, it probably will, but please don't. Okay, no, it did. Still should be good enough to get us to max for all three of those. And we are now done with Ryu. Technically, we still have the two extra characters left that aren't maxed, but those don't exist. Those aren't real. And with that, we now have Ryu fully maxed out on everyone. Except, of course, Tamaki and Setsuna, but those don't matter. At least not for now. I'll get those once I'm going through and getting the last few friendship events and hot spring events. Those will be the cleanup characters since they don't have friendship or hot spring events themselves. And the next character that I believe was in the lineup, let me check really quickly. I have it written down, but I'll have to pull it up really quickly. Let's see, who is next in the planned roster lineup? And it would be William. Okay, yeah, so next time we will start with William. He will probably take quite a bit longer than Ryu. I didn't play him a ton before now, so he shouldn't have that many close to max, but yeah. Let's see, let's go over here. Oh, he really doesn't. Yeah, he's gonna be a bit of a grind, probably multiple streams, but shouldn't be too terribly bad. We're used to it at this point. But yeah, he's gonna take a bit, but Let's actually see for 100% certain. Does he have anyone maxed out? He has one character maxed out, and that's Ryu. Nobody else is maxed out, and most of them are still at rank 1. So William will take quite a while to get through, but oh well. So yeah, now that we have fully maxed out Ryu, it is time to end the stream. It's been a good one. It's been a very, very fun stream. Taking the break definitely was very helpful to renewing my motivation for this one. I don't know if we'll actually end up finishing or not before Ramono Zon releases. That does release in, I believe, December 16th. So we have a bit over a month still, but taking that break definitely did eat into our time quite a bit. But hopefully we should still have a decent amount of time left. But yeah, even if we don't, we'll be close enough that it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Yeah, that's the end of the stream. Thank you all for coming. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Burn to ashes.